natural hair journey. I just want to let you know that I'm no longer loose natural. I have locks, baby. Yes, yes, yes. I've been locked for 7 months. 7 months. Oh, I look like Rudolph. 7 months, and I have a new channel, Rose Petals, Roze Petals, and there you can check out my lock journey. I just posted my first lock video on there a couple of days ago, and that channel is going to be strictly for hair, so make sure you check it out. Now I'm hungry. But how are y'all? I hope all is well with you and your family. I know y'all been wondering where I've been. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. I've been gone since December 2017, and it's January 2019, and my body just decided to do its own thing now. I'm gonna look for the can. I'll leave the can over here. This is clam chowder. If you didn't see from the beginning, clam chowder with chicken and corn. I usually don't like stuffed chicken in cans and stuff, but honey, I wanted some clam chowder. I wanted a soup, and I picked this. Okay, so my body decided to do its own thing, and something in my brain ain't functioning correctly, my nerves and stuff, and it causes me to, I collapse, I stare off. When I stare off sometimes, my body becomes paralyzed to where I can't speak. I can't move. Sometimes I can move my middle finger, and I can still hear people. Like, I'll just be staring. I'm not even gonna play like that because I was scared I'd get stuck like that. But I stare off, and I basically become non-responsive. And when I collapse, I hit the ground. I never pass out all the way. My body, it's like somebody pulls the plug on me. So I just pass out. No, I don't pass out. I'm still conscious. You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, my nose feels like a alarm. I could have at least dried my hands. Ooh. I know I'm not the only one to eat hot stuff and nose gets running. Hey, let's get back on track, because y'all know I have a bad habit of getting off track. Take another bite. That sweet corn. Honey. I want y'all to eat with me, so pause this video, go get you some soup, go get a sandwich, some noodles, something. All right, let's get back on track. So, and I got potatoes. I'm for real. I'm gonna get back on track.
Oh, I'm about to kill myself. Focus, come back. Oh, Lordy. Yeah, my camera. I'm actually just using my phone. There we go. Oh Lord. Down camera.
Okay, focus. So their condition, the doctors have not figured it out yet. It's been over a year, and they diagnosed me with the wrong thing. Excuse me. And I've gotten 3 different opinions. And so anyway, to the story. I had to go to this appointment, and I was not feeling great that day, but I had to make this appointment. This was a mandatory appointment, and Lord. And when I got to the appointment, I had to do an eye exam. So I was standing there doing an eye exam, y'all, and then I was just kind of like wobbling back and forth, and then boom, fell and hit the floor. Hit the floor, and it was a big commotion, and oh Lord. So it was a big commotion, and I would come out of it, I'd go back into it, and they ended up calling an ambulance. And I kept telling them, I was like, please don't call the ambulance, because I dealt with this so many times, and they send me home every time. I was in the hospital for like a week, for 1 week when this first started happening, but ever since then, I always get sent home because they're still trying to figure it out. And it's not like a life or death situation to them. It is not, but we really don't know what's happening. And so the ambulance ended up coming, and I was like, and I had just come out of an episode when the ambulance came. And then when they were there, I ended up going back to another one. And when I get into these episodes, I cannot move. I can't speak, but I can hear everything you're saying. Yo. I can hear everything you're saying. And so they put me on a stretcher because the EMT was like, we taking her. And in my head, I'm like, no, don't take me. But I'm like, ooh. So I'm gonna go play like that. And so they put me in the ambulance truck, and I came out of it, and the EMT lady, she was like, the doctor said that you didn't want to go to the hospital. She said, do you have another ride home? Do you have somebody to come get you? I was like, no. And I said, excuse me, y'all. I think something got in the wrong way in my way. And so, what happened? So the doctor had told, I'm trying to get this back focused. Come on. Ain't nobody got time for this. Focus. Yeah, I promise I'm going to get a camera. A real camera one day. All right, there we go. So the EMT, she was like, the doctor said you didn't want to go to the hospital. And I basically said no, and I said, I'll take an Uber. She was like, a Uber? I said, yeah. She said, sweetie, you need to go to the hospital. Have someone take you. I said, no, I need to go home and go to sleep. I've been dealing with this. I need to go to sleep. She was like, okay. And she told me to, told me to call an Uber. So I was able to walk out of the truck, the ambulance truck. So we walked back into the office, the doctor's office. That EMT, they was not leaving me until I had a ride. And I appreciate them for that. And so my daughter was with me too, y'all. Whew. My daughter was with me, and I had her booster seat. And so the Uber car came, honey, I was happy. And the EMT was just shaking her head. She was Like, ain't no Uber gonna want to take you home. Before I had called the Uber, that's what she told me. But the Uber came and I was feeling okay. And so I um I told my daughter, I said, let's go. We were walking. I had to walk this long sidewalk and the Uber driver was at the end of the sidewalk. I walk halfway to the sidewalk. I walk halfway down the sidewalk. I start slowing down, y'all. You already know what's about to happen, honey. Boom. I hit that floor. Car seat flew out my hand. Keys flew out my hand. Glasses flew out my face. And it was crazy because as I was slowing down, the Uber driver had rolled down his window. And he was like, ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay? Because I guess from where he was, he could tell that something was wrong. And I hit him hit the ground. I heard him, I guess he had got out the car. He started yelling, someone call 911, help, 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 someone call 911. Now, my eyes were closed. Usually sometimes when I collapse, my eyes stay open. I can't imagine seeing that. That has to be so creepy. But my eyes were closed and I could hear everybody around me. And then I felt somebody scratch my leg. And I forgot to tell y'all this part. What brings me out of my episodes is scratching my leg. And it's my left leg. It's a specific leg. And you just scratch anywhere. And I usually come out of it like that. Sometimes if you scratch my right leg, I come out of it. But not so much like the left leg. And it's so weird. And my boo thing, baby, if you watching this, my baby cakes, he figured it out. So that's what we try to tell people. And I had told the EMT to do that. So they knew to do that. So when I felt somebody scratch my leg, I knew right away who was,
Oh God. I'm not gonna die.
oh Lord, honey, I had to get some water. If I was that red pepper, I didn't put that much though. Okay. I know y'all like, get on with the story, but y'all know this is just how I tell my stories. I be all over the place. So I knew it was the EMT that scratched my leg, and I opened my eyes. I was like, Lord, honey, I don't think they left. I think they were like, they probably was driving around the parking lot, and they was like, she not gonna make it to that car. she ain't gonna make it to that car, because honey, even in the ambulance, I kept going in and out, and then they were like, no. So the ambulance were there, and I heard one of the EMT say to the Uber driver, excuse me, you're her Uber driver, right? The Uber driver said,
She not getting in my car. No, no. She need to go to the hospital. She cannot get in my car like this. She cannot get in my car. No, no, lady. You need to go
to the hospital. I said, sir, I just need to take a nap. So if you could just get me home, everything will be, I'm telling you, everything will be
okay. He said, no.
He was not having it.
He was not happy. If I was Uber driver, I would have did the same thing. So I wouldn't be mad at him.
And I ended up like, like I don't really have family here. And all my friends were at work and stuff. I looked at the EMT female, and that's the one I was pretty much was talking to most of the time. And she gave me this look like, come on. So yeah, I got on the ambulance truck and ended up going to the hospital. And I was just like, I did not want to go to the hospital. And of course, I ended up getting sent home. They kept me for just a few hours, and then I got sent home like I knew. And I could have been at home, sleep. But I'm not mad, and it's kind of it's kind of messed up. Not messed up because I can't drive. I can't drive. I do have a car, but I can't drive because of this condition. And so the only way for me to get around are Ubers. And it's unfortunate that I be having these situations, and because everybody can't handle that, and it's kind of like, dang, you get in the Uber car, and these people, they will freak somebody out, honey. I was like, girl, you have a seizure? Because sometimes they look like seizures. But I know I'll come out of it. But my Uber driver, they may not know that I will come out of it. So it's kind of a crazy situation. I've had them in Ubers before, and one lady, she just was so awesome. Whoever she was like, I kind of explained to her what happens to me, because it's like as soon as I got in the car, I can kind of feel it coming on, and I was like, I'll come out of it. And so I was just in the back seat. My head was dropped and I was staring off. And she was in the mirror. She was like, "You're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good. If you could hear me, you're doing good." And I just, bless her heart, bless her heart. And I ended up seeing her. Um, so I had like about 4 episodes in her car, right? And I'm almost done with this clam chowder. I had about 4 episodes in her car, and she didn't take me to Walmart. That wasn't a good idea for me to go to Walmart. She didn't want me to get out the car. She was like, I just don't think you should, honey. I can't tell you what to do, but I don't think you should be going to that store by yourself, because there was a different Uber driver, and I was by myself, and I did it because I just had this mindset. I'm not going to let this condition run my life. But now I've got to the point where I just still have to be mindful, because I'm putting myself in danger by, if I know I'm not feeling well, and I still go to do stuff. Because that's what I was doing. I still was trying to get out the house, even if I wasn't feeling well. Now, honey, I sit my butt down. Honey, I've hit my head. I have hit my ribs. I have bruised my knees from falling. Like, it has been crazy, y'all. Crazy. But through it all, I still been blessed. And back to the Uber driver that took me to Walmart. So she had dropped me out. Tell me why. Get y'all some corn clam chowder, y'all. Done. Tell me why, like, a few days later after that, probably, I think the next day. Okay, so the Uber driver, she had took me somewhere on the east side. I was on the east side. The next day, my family had to come because that day was crazy. That day ended up being crazy. And so my family came out of town to come get me, and we had to go to this hospital to get my prescription. And I ended up having episodes at the hospital, but we wasn't in the ER at the time. But my parents, they ended up getting a wheelchair from the hospital and wheeling me out to the car. And I kind of was, while I was coming out of the door, I was in the wheelchair with my head hanging, and I was having an episode. And remind you, I can still hear. And my mom was pushing me out the door, and I heard someone say, "Are you Rosalind's mom?" to my mother. And my mother was like, "Yes." And the voice sounded familiar to me, but I'm like, I don't know who that is that would know my mama like that. Because even some of my friends here, most of my friends here have never even met my mother. So, like, who is this?
And she was like, I was her Uber driver yesterday, I think yesterday or the day before. And she said that baby had about 4 episodes in my car, and I couldn't sleep last night. She said I prayed for her, and I went to choir rehearsal, and I had my choir pray for her. And she said I couldn't, oh, no, I'm not doing it, no. Mm-mm. No, I'm about to have me cry. Don't hear me. Mm-mm.
Got another bite here? But yeah, she was like, I prayed for her, and she was just been on my heart, and I could hear my mom crying out, y'all. I could like hear her sniffling and wiping her face, and it was like that day was really crazy, and it's just been up and down. But I still have joy. I'm still breathing. I'm still kicking. I'm still moving my limbs. This thing gonna get figured out. Either God gonna heal me, or we gonna figure it out, and I'll be able to still live my life working around it, because right now we don't know my triggers. We know that my the cold triggers it, but there's so many other triggers. Like I could be fine for days, and then one day I'm just collapsing all day, y'all. And I mean all day, and it's very dangerous. So it's like a seizure, but I'm not having brain seizure activity. I'm still kicking through all of this. Like, not kicking, but I was still awake through the whole thing. From the time I collapsed, time I'm on the floor. There's been times my eyes roll back in my head and my head body shaking, and they hold my head still. My parents had held my head still, but I could feel all that. I never blacked out. It's weird. But we gonna figure this thing out. But I just want to stop in and say hello to y'all. I would show y'all the little spill, but I kind of got my phone ghetto rigged a little bit. I do need to get a real camera with a stand and stuff, but I have it sitting on a candle, box of tissue, and honey. But I will. I have a few videos in store for you all. Sorry that my phone keeps zooming in and out. And I really didn't want to edit this, but I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I just stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to my other channel if you want to see my hair updates. Rose, R-O-Z-E, petals. Yeah.